It's the 1-year anniversary of when we found out who the next head coach for the Denver Broncos would be. What color will the Super Bowl teams be wearing? And when is the next Rocky Mountain Showdown? Welcome to your Denver Sports Daily for January 31st. Let's go.
Taking you through your morning headlines, it's Denver Sports Daily with Rachel Vigil.
It was 1 year ago today that Sean Payton was announced as the next head coach of the Denver Broncos. I remember all the excitement. It filled the air. But after 1 year under SP, finishing 9-8 and all of the Russell Wilson drama, I'm curious. Let me know in the comments, what grade do you give SP? I am giving him a C because he got us all excited out at training camp when he says, I'm going to be pissed off if this team isn't a playoff team. Well, they in fact did not make the playoffs. So that automatically drops you down. And then with the Russell Wilson drama and how all of that was handled, I'm like, okay, we're really in that C mark. Not loving everything that's happening, but you also got to give a little bit of credit because after they started off on a tough stretch at the beginning of the year, they also won a few major games, including the one against the Chiefs. So I'm giving Sean Payton thus far 1 year out a C. Let me know in the comments what you're doing and we can talk about it at the end of the show. The Senior Bowl is coming up on Saturday on NFL Network, and our very own Cecil Lammy and Andrew Mason have boots on the ground in Mobile, Alabama. Here's your daily update from the guys on how a potential Broncos QB is looking.
Howdy Broncos country, Andrew Mason, Cecil Lammy here. We just watched the second Senior Bowl practice today.
Right.
Let's just start with the quarterbacks because that's the primary topic here.
Right.
Who caught your eye, who didn't?
Usually we share moments. We might go back and forth on Michael Penix. Of course, that'll be on Orange and Blue today. But for me, Michael Pratt was the best quarterback today. When you consider everything that they're tasked with doing, did he have the best pass placement? No. That was Penix. Is he the best runner? Not exactly. Bo Nix is a pretty good runner. And the Zebra data, they track their speed here. But I like the way that you saw everything from the Tulane quarterback who's working into that second round, late first round conversation.
Yeah, I would say, like, if you're ranking these quarterbacks and saying, okay, like, ball placement, velocity, processor, he's not the best in anything.
Right.
But he's not near the bottom. Like you'd say, of the 7 quarterbacks out here, if you went category by category, he's probably no worse than 4th.
Yes.
Of the 7 in any one attribute, whereas there's a bit more variance. I will say this, I'm going to rank the quarterbacks from today later on at denversports.com. Michael Pratt, the only one of the quarterbacks in the second practice today who would be in the top 4.
Yes.
3 of the top 4,
yes.
Sam Hartman, Bo Nix, Michael Penix Jr., they were in the first practice today.
Yeah, the first practice we were treated to some quarterback play. Second one, not as much. But we'll continue to watch down here. And it's always the second day. Guys, can you improve if you struggled on day 1? Or can you stay the same if you shined on day 1?
Give me one name beyond the quarterbacks who caught your eye today.
Marshawn Lloyd. I got a crush on Marshawn Lloyd. I wrote about him already at denversports.com on our State of the Running Backs. Yep. Right? I suggested, like, hey, maybe day 3, Marshawn Lloyd. It'll probably still be day 3, Mace, but after a performance today, rushing, receiving, and pass protection, Lloyd stood out. So the USC runner turning some heads here in Mobile.
Jim Harbaugh will be making an average of $16 million with the Chargers, a 5-year deal that will be worth roughly $80 million. Sean Payton is set to a 5-year deal with roughly $18 million per year. The Chiefs, they will be wearing their home red jerseys in the Super Bowl, thanks to them technically being the home team for the game. And it's the same uniform matchup we saw when the Chiefs defeated the 49ers 31-20 4 years ago. In his career, Patrick Mahomes is 1-1 in Super Bowls while wearing red and 1-0 while wearing white. So the 49ers will be wearing their away white jerseys. Now, the Lions, their offensive coordinator, Ben Johnson, is staying put in Detroit. Johnson has reportedly informed teams that he won't be seeking a head coaching job, choosing to remain with the Lions for another season. I think this is very telling about where Dan Campbell and this Lions team can go. The 37-year-old Johnson was one of the hottest names in the coaching market after leading Detroit to a top 5 offense in each of the last 2 seasons, only 2 NFL teams remain with head coaching vacancies. That is the Commanders and the Seahawks. The Nuggets are headed to OKC for a one-game road trip. Denver is just 1 point ahead of the Thunder in the Western Conference standings. Nikola Jokic is questionable with low back pain, and Julian Strother remains out with that right knee contusion/sprain. On Tuesday, the NBA shared its list of top-selling jerseys. The list was compiled based on sales at nbastore.co. Topping the list is, of course, Golden State Warriors star Steph Curry. And then if you look down there at number 14, highlighted in red, there comes in Nikola Jokic right there. So always love to see that coming out there. But now, the NBA and the WNBA's best three-point shooters will go head-to-head at this year's NBA All-Star Weekend. Steph Curry and Sabrina Esq, I'm terrible with her last name, and I promise you one day I will get it right, will face off in the first ever NBA versus WNBA three-point challenge. Curry will shoot from the NBA three-point line, and Esq will shoot from the WNBA line, which is 3 feet closer. I'm really excited. I'm looking forward to this. Curry obviously won the NBA contest back in 2015 and in 2021, and the showdown will be part of the NBA All-Star Saturday night on February 17th in Indianapolis. Now, the Colorado Avalanche. Darren Helm looks to be enjoying retirement as he and Bernie dropped off the Your Fan Pal letters to patients at UC Health Memorial Hospital, Central in Colorado Springs on Monday. I love this. Darren Helm obviously retiring after last season. I love that he's still repping the Colorado Avalanche. And last but not least, CU Buffs fans, the football schedule has officially dropped. The Buffs are no longer in the Pac-12 and are now in the Big 12. And here's a quick look at their schedule. It'll be CU's first time playing in a 16-team conference. Colorado has its final game in the series with longtime rival Nebraska and in-state foe Colorado State, who isn't on the slate again until 2029. That breaks my heart just a little bit, you guys, but there's plenty of good games on the schedule if you are a Buffs fan, and hopefully we can get another overtime game against Colorado State. And you know me, I'm a Rammy, so hopefully they're able to pull off a win. So plenty of good stuff right there. You guys, obviously, I love being able to see the Colorado State CU rivalry continue. I'm sad that it won't happen again until 2029, but I do think it'll be beneficial for the Buffs to really prove what they have going into the Big 12. And then, of course, I want to get to some of your guys' comments on the Sean Payton 1 year. Can you believe it's been 1 year since we found out? I don't really remember when Sean Payton was announced, but I remember when Russell Wilson was announced. So I guess that tells you a little bit about it. Okay, D+. I'm getting a lot of D+. D+ right there. I kind of agree with the C grade. We will hold him to the same standards as Russ. We spent a first-round pick and his second highest paid head coach. He should get us to the playoffs in 2 years or he's a bust. Wow, 2 years or he's a bust. I actually kind of agree with this statement, though, when you really think about it. Yeah, we gave up so much, or the Denver Broncos gave up so much to get Sean Payton, but I think it does kind of show, one, the Walton Penner ownership group really believes in Sean Payton and what he's capable of, and with that being said, that's why they're moving on for Russell Wilson. They are going to take the dead money cap hit and say, we are going to move on from Russell Wilson because we believe in what Sean Payton is capable of doing. And there has been a lot of talk recently saying Sean Payton's never worked with a rookie QB. He's actually only started a rookie one time in his career, a rookie QB one time in his career. And I find that to be a little bit fascinating, but he has his name on so many great quarterbacks that he has been around to develop. So I'm really going to look forward to the challenge. Of course, if they end up going that way in the draft, there's still a lot of talk about that. So C, D+, D+, let's ride. I see Austin saying in the comments too. So lots of interesting stuff, you guys. It was a fast Denver Sports Daily for you today. On Coffee Break today at 12 p.m., we're going through my mentions and we are answering all of your guys' questions. So come hang out with me. I think it's going to be a really fun episode. Again, all of your questions, let's get to it. We'll see you guys tomorrow, 10 a.m. for another episode of Denver Sports Daily. Bye, everybody.